Alrighty, so we are going to make some pork and beans, and I'm going to use a barbecue recipe sauce that I've used before. I kind of tweaked it to fit what we like, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 3 cups of ketchup, 1 cup of dark molasses, 2 cups of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of brown mustard, 6 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, a few drops of liquid smoke, 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, and 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper. There should also be 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder in there, so I'll add that to it. I'm also using 2 pounds of great northern beans, and I have 1 pound of thick smoked, it's always smoked, thick cut bacon that I'm going to be using. So you can adjust this recipe to however you want it, whatever works for you, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you through the whole step. All right, before we get started, I'm going to preface this video by saying that a lot of the things that you're going to see me water bath are not recommended by the government. However, this is what works for me. This is what I like to do. I feel very safe doing it. I'm not telling you that this is what you should do. I'm showing you how I do it, and then you need to make a choice for yourself and your family as to whether or not this is right for you. Our ancestors have water bathed for hundreds of years, way back into the 1800s. And yes, I know there was bacteria, blah, blah, blah. It's been perfected, and everything that I've opened and fed to my family, I've not had any problems at all. If you follow the process and you check your foods before you open them and feed them to your family, you're not going to have an issue. Yes, some things do spoil. They pop the lids. Not very often though. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to par cook our beans. We want to get them so they just kind of squirt over the counter so that they just break just a little bit here. That's where we want them, because they'll continue to cook and swell in the oven. Nothing like being involved in real-time stuff. This is how it goes in most households. Anyway, I have cut my bacon into small pieces here, and I'm just going to crumble it into my beans. You can use as much or as little bacon as you want. None at all, that's fine too. I'm going to probably use about 1/2 pound or so. So put this in here like this. I'm going to mix all that around, and you know, I think I might use just a tad more here. Okay. So anyway, we have this all mixed around, and I'm going to put it in the oven. I've got the oven set at 200. It's basically just to keep it nice and warm, so that when I add my sauce in and I put in my cans, it's hot packed and ready to go. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alrighty, the other thing that you're going to need is 1 large onion, and you're going to cut it into, I cut it into chunks because I just don't have time to do all them little tiny pieces. So I'm going to cut them into chunks. Don't forget to save all your veggie scraps so that when you have enough, you can make your veggie broth. Okay, so now we're going to add all of our ingredients for our sauce. So there's my ketchup. And my molasses. And my Worcestershire sauce. And my ginger or brown mustard, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. All goes in there. And brown sugar. Okay, so we're gonna mix all of this together. I'm gonna put it on the stove. I'm gonna bring it to a boil, turn it down, and simmer it for about 10 minutes. Okay, so we have our sauce already. I turned my bottom oven on, so I was gonna put my beans and my bacon and my onions in the bottom oven. However, I decided to put them in the top oven, which did absolutely no good because my beans and my bacon and my onions are cold. So anyway, that's that. So here is our, see if I can do it over here. Here is our barbecue sauce for our beans. It's beautiful. It tastes really good. So I'm going to add that. And I'm going to add it little at a time because I don't want it to be too much. And actually, looks like maybe I might be adding, no, maybe not. I don't know. I might be adding some more beans to this. No, maybe not though, because by the time it cooks down, the beans will have absorbed some of that. What do you think, Glenn? Should I add the rest of it, or does it look pretty okay?
I would say add the rest of it.
Add the rest of it? Okay. My behind the scenes chef guy, my hubby, Glenn. So, alright. Yeah, I think he's right. And if not, you can tweak it to however you want it. Okay? So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna ladle. I have this heavy cast iron crock that I have oiled, and I'm going to put, well, I'm going to can some of this, so I'm only going to put probably, maybe a smaller one, probably about that much in there. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm going to put it in the oven at 250 degrees for about 2 hours. I'm going to check it every 30 minutes or so. And as soon as the beans are just nice and tender, then it'll be time to take it out. The rest of this I'm going to can, and it's going to take a part 2. So if you're interested in canning, water bath canning, then you can like this one and come take a look at part 2. And here are our baked beans. I think I might add a few more beans to them because it's pretty liquidy. Might thicken up as it cools, but it sure smells good. I'm gonna take a little taste, and it tastes pretty good too.